So hi guys, welcome to NSS MSI's YouTube channel. Before starting this video, it would be really appreciated if you like the video and subscribe to our channel because it really helps us and motivates us to work even more hard. So without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Welcome to the special episode of NSS podcast, and today we are joined by a really special guest. As they say, not all hero wears capes, but I'm pretty sure they do wear stethoscopes, and these hard times are the proven fact that they do. So, welcome, Dr. Sidhaant. And before starting the interview, I would like to ask, how have you been during these tough times?
Oh, thank you, Arjun. Thank you, Arjun, for inviting me. Well,
Hmm.
it's been a little difficult per se because wave and sort of suppress sadly doesn't mean that our job is getting over. Like, agar, when we're jumping from
Hmm.
one wave to another, in that process, it does not guarantee
Hmm.
that we are getting like a rest. Like us per se, in terms that like when the pandemic hit. So I was basically like a student, like
Hmm.
all of you people, and then I had to like suddenly you had to like take all these responsibilities like you were never like prepared for ever in life. Like you've heard
Hmm.
about it, theoretically read about it and stuff like that, but you never had to face it in person. And so basically
Hmm.
that's what happened. Like my internship ke time pe, the first wave happened, like when COVID first happened, and then my whole internship got ruined because of that. And now during the second wave, I was studying for
Hmm.
my exams for my MD postgrad, and that got ruined, and that got stuck in the process. So basically, like you're stuck in that process, and like so technically speaking, I haven't been able to like go out or just like live a life for almost like 9 months now. Like exam bhi
Hmm.
nahi khatam hua, na ye hua. So yeah, it's pretty much that.
नहीं, definitely, especially I was a fresher when I entered the college and I could definitely relate क्योंकि college तो हमारा कभी शुरू ही नहीं हुआ, खत्म पता नहीं कभी होगा.
Yeah.
But but without further ado, let's get straight into this interview. So, sir, as a doctor, when the pandemic hit, how hard it was for you to look out for yourself and the patients at the same time because you have been a frontline worker.
Yeah. So initially, so when this happened, so it happened in March, and March maybe we had a
Hmm.
surgery posting. So surgery is like where you don't have to come across that many patients of COVID. The COVID jab hoga, like you're having cough, cold, fever, and stuff like that. So you usually
Hmm.
go to somebody in a medicine department, not surgery. But so surgery, may
Okay.
we had surgery, and slowly we were transitioning from coming every day to say one person is coming once in a month, sorry, once in a day, sorry, once in a week, sorry, my bad, once in a week.
Hmm.
That you're coming for once, you do like as an intern. First, you were working every day. Now you were working like say you will have 1 week you're working, then 1 week off, and like repeat and some other internal work in the next subsequently, because to like reduce the amount of people and exposure and everything. So it had come to that. So and in March I was really hopeful कि ठीक है अभी तो surgery है, risk बहुत कम है and everything, and June July तक everything will subside down. But June July में we had our medicine,
Hmm.
actually I had my medicine posting, and medicine में तो सारे patient ही COVID के थे. Like it's not like कि जरूरी है कि COVID के हों,
Okay.
it's like somebody, they would just come, and people didn't have that much awareness and knowledge at that time also. Cough cold fever हो रहा है या suddenly smell बंद हो गई है, and they'll be like अच्छा कुछ नहीं हुआ हुआ है. अभी चाचा को मिला था पिछले हफ्ते, वो भी ठीक थे, मैं भी ठीक थे, मुझे कोरोना हुआ था कभी ना कभी. So like the people just don't know anything. Like so they're coming, and they're coming in the
Hmm.
hospital, and there is no like as such like guidelines, regulations there, what to do, what not to do, and stuff like that. Very later that they
Hmm.
came in place and everything. So yeah, you were very scared. Like I remember in the first 2 days where I was there, I was just wearing PPE completely. I didn't have to wear a PPE, but I was wearing PPE. I got my
Hmm.
own PPE and stuff like that. I was wearing PPE, and I just couldn't like. I got like so paranoid and frantic that I even like ruined my phone with sanitizer dal ke. So it was like that crazy for me,
Oh.
at least like the first 2 3 days.
Hmm.
Only then, and plus as doctor, like we do get used to it. Like आदत पड़ जाती है थोड़ी सी कि disease
We shouldn't
है,
normalize
कुछ ना
this,
कुछ
but
होगा.
yeah.
Yeah, you get normalized to
Hmm.
it. Like like after 1 month or 1 month, 2 months, it was very normal. Like I mean, I stopped being scared in terms of like stop being scared in terms of not being like
Hmm.
reckless कि मतलब कुछ भी करो जाके, but in terms that I stopped being
Hmm.
scared. Like पहले क्या था कि थोड़ा सा patient की तरफ there was a little stigma कि oh COVID का patient है and ये वो in the first way that
Hmm.
that was there obviously. So towards there, at
Hmm.
least for me, I stopped being scared. I was like normally interacting, because so that is what I also try to preach as well a lot, that I understand like all these diseases are very scary sometimes, and you are scared for your death or your family member or something. But we just have to be like smart about it. So once you know the ways to be smart about it, to go around something, you can fight it off. So basically, once like like when those things I ingrained in me, like how you can like the basic steps you can prevent something like that. I was like, okay. So then I got used to it, and then again in second, so then things normalized and everything. But then the second wave came,
Yeah.
yeah, it was very scary that time. That time it became a little scary, even though I was vaccinated. But like there were like so many like cases happening here and there, and like literally everybody and like घर पे बैठे बैठे सबको हो रहा था. So you were scared at that time. I was very scared at that time. I didn't like get out for a while, and like I was studying at that time as a student, so everything was just like here and there. So all I could do was like provide online consults to anybody who needed it, and that was all I was doing at that time.
So you had to make a lot of personal sacrifices and some, I'm pretty sure, some hard choices also. So can you discuss a few among us, like on our platform?
Yeah, definitely. So like more than me, so my parents are also doctors, and my father's
Mm-hmm.
working in Delhi, and so he was also like the head of COVID. So in the whole month of April, he was working like 18 hours a day, and like basically like we never had like a family thing during the month of April and May. Like all it was like he was working, going back, like working at home, working at hospital. Like it was constantly about like and two of our members also, like my mother and my sister, they also got like positive. So it was like all our house all about like either you're working or taking care of them. And so yeah, that was one sacrifice. Was like there was no idea of like a family time or anything like that. You weren't just normally sitting around or anything. You were all just like I answering calls all the time, helping people or doing consults. There was so much of backlog, there was so
Mm-hmm.
much of load and everything. It was just crazy amount of load. Like crazy amount of calls. Like there was like month of April, it was like every day I would get a call every day, like in the morning religiously. So it was that bad.
Yeah, but there were many other bed scarcity, and especially in Delhi. There were a lot of bed
Yeah.
scarcity around here and there. So definitely agreeable on that. I mean, I'm really sorry for whatever you
No,
have to go through
sorry
as
for
a
you as
doctor.
well. Sorry for you as well.
Yeah. So basically, as a doctor, I'm pretty sure you have seen the ground reality of what happens or what goes down in the COVID ward or in the COVID section. So when you see things like people are going to Manali, Mussoorie, like after the second wave got over, like people rushed there, and they have given this a term like a revenge travel. So what is your take on that? I mean, it must be infuriating.
So exactly. So like that's what I always say that so there are not two ways of looking at things. So my way is usually I see the center ground, I see the other person perspective as well. So I think a lot of people, what the mistake they do is like at least like people on social media, they just try then they just jump to shaming everybody, and in that whole shaming process everybody gets a little angry, and then they start like doing like a very typical वो जो होता है ना कि किसी को मना करो कुछ नहीं करने के लिए वो जानबूझ के वही करेगा just to like annoy you or piss you off.
हाँ,
So it's a
reverse
very common
psychology.
thing that yeah, reverse psychology. If you ever
Hmm.
try to create or try to reach a moral high ground, somebody or other is stupid enough to like break your moral high ground, even if it's against that person. So when
Hmm.
everybody was coming at such mass numbers and shaming everybody, so there was going to be like a so-called revenge travel. कि अब तो हम घूमेंगे, and basically
Hmm.
see, okay, not justifying their behavior, but from their point of view also, there's one thing that it's been like I don't know whatever how much time it has been to like बाहर नहीं घूमे हैं ये है वो है अभी जाना है ये है वो है
Hmm.
but see but that is not universal, that is not only to them only, it's for us also, हम भी नहीं जा रहे हैं ना. So again, but they're being stupid
Hmm.
there and they're being wrong there because see, I'm not saying that if you want to go, if you want to have this 2 day vacation, say going to a resort or something, and you can go, but at least be careful or be smart about it. That's all I can say. Like, I mean, like if you're going to like Manali, like, I don't know if you saw that little video where
Hmm.
everybody was just like either पानी के अंदर डुबकी ले रहे थे without like wearing a mask and stuff like
Hmm.
that. That's insane. That's stupid. You're going to Manali, you are going to Manali, you're going to a secluded place or you're going a less crowded place, you're wearing a mask when you're outside, you're only taking it off if you're eating something in a proper restaurant with proper guidelines, stuff like that, understandable still. But if you're just like going there at mass
Hmm.
numbers, ki sab ek hi gali ke andar se patli si gali andar sab log bina mask ke घूम रहे हैं, that is just
Hmm.
stupid. Like it's almost like it's almost like disrespecting the people who passed away in second wave, because those people
Yeah.
never would have been like, there were people who just like had nothing. Like, people, my friends' parents and parents, family members who had nothing to do with, like, who had completely normal medical history, normal life, normal health, and suddenly second wave in that whole flash of 1 month or 2 months, they were gone. They just like disappeared from the face of the earth. So all such reckless behavior that everybody is doing is in a way disrespecting those people's deaths in a way, because like those people didn't want that to happen to them, and there would be a lot of there may be not. I hope there may be not in people in third wave that it happens to, but again, it's at least for the people. And I think the reason why more people should have been more sensible this time, I would have still understood if it was after the first wave, because that time nobody would have expected that much of a second wave. But if people were sensible enough, at least in the second wave, when it hit you home so bad, कि सभी के घर पे कुछ ना कुछ हुआ है, सभी के आसपास, at least you knew one person who was having something bad happening to them. So I just don't know. So I think that's very reckless. I think it's very stupid of why they're doing it, and I have no idea. And yeah, अब यही अगर अभी ऐसे, like, and the funniest part is you becoming, when you like out there in public, you feel like, am I doing everything right? Am I doing everything wrong? Or am I not? Like अगर मैं कहीं बाहर जाऊँ, कहीं से तो है, गलत तो नहीं है. Somebody will question my
फेस शील्ड
intentions.
पहनो.
ये सर तो हमारे एक्शन को सब लोग जज करते रहते हैं इन टर्म्स ऑफ कि दवाई कौन सी दी है, ये खुद दिया, अपने एक्शन कोई नहीं देख रहा इस टाइम पे. सो लाइक अभी किसको ब्लेम करोगे फिर आप, अब जब थर्ड वेव अगर होगी तो who will you blame?
I actually read about this. Yeah, I actually read about this. They were like, because the third wave is happening because of the recklessness of people. First, they used to call for homes. Now they're calling for hotels. So it's really reckless behavior of whatever people are doing. But my next question was regarding third wave only.
Yeah.
Basically, as many experts have predicted, कि third wave या fourth wave भी हो सकती है. So I just wanted to ask from a doctor's point of view, कि what is your perception? Are you scared? Are you terrified, or any kind of emotions going on in your mind?
Yeah. So definitely, I understand that. So the thing is that third wave, second wave, fourth wave. So they all come to like the basic that nobody's understanding the science behind it. It took a while for WHO, the American government, Indian government, other governments to accept the fact that the virus is airborne. Airborne meaning ki if me and you are sitting in a room, lack of ventilation, closed windows and everything, that risk is same as me coughing in front of you. That risk is equal. And the virus during the second wave, it had an R naught number of 1.9. 1.9 R naught number means that was affect 3 to 4 other people. So point being in these scenarios, you have to avoid mass gatherings at all cost, because one person is infecting 3 to 4 people, and subsequently those 3 to 4 people infect more and more people. So if you're gathering in large numbers, that many people are becoming new cases every second or every minute of the gathering. So now, like you said, the whole revenge travel. People are gathering in mass numbers. You will have a festival very soon. People will gather again in mass numbers. Second wave time pe Holi tha. There were other festivals that were happening, other events that were happening in the country where people were gathering again in mass numbers. Now second wave khatam hoga, third wave ke agar pehle they say August 31st ke aspas hoga, maybe it could be around people gathering around Independence Day, maybe it could be the revenge travel right now. If it is 1 month later, you say the fourth wave, maybe it could be around October, November, December, ki Diwali ke time pe again people are gathering. Festivals, wherever the festival happening, people are gathering. That is the main problem. That is when you'll have more and more waves. As simple as that. And the only way to curtail the virus is to have it at a very, very low number. And that is the only solution to there is that more and more people get vaccinated and more people follow the COVID appropriate behavior as much as anybody can do.
So basically, I mean, because like you have actually told about the Arnold number, and we have discussed about how dangerous the variants was of the second wave. So my next question is regarding the new variants only. As आजकल हम news में सुनते हैं, मतलब Delta variant is a trending these days because of how dangerous Delta variant is. And especially, I mean, because of Delta variants, how many countries have declared emergency, or like once again they have declared stay at home and wear masks. Like CDC just updated their guidelines to start wearing masks once again because of the whole Delta variant thing.
Okay.
So what is your opinion regarding these new variants?
So okay. So basically, the problem is, so understand something about the virus again. Okay. So the virus is also an organism, and any organism across all species, whether it be a bacteria, whether it be a human, everybody has a thirst for survival. So they'll do anything to survive. A virus needs a human host to survive inside. They need us to survive. So virus, the more and more you let the virus stay in your body, or the more and more you let the virus stay in more and more bodies, the virus understands, the virus learns the bodies, the virus understands new defenses to fight against any kind of body's immunity. So that is how mutations happen, and those mutations create more and more variants. So when we talk about the first COVID variant that came last year sometime, it was in UK, then South Africa, then California. So when these variants must have come in India, the further they infected the bodies, the further they created more mutations, and that brought then the Delta variant, the Indian variant, which became the combination of the UK variant and the Californian variant. उस दोनों का combination बनके the Indian variant का बन गया कि उसकी भी mutation थी UK वाले की भी and US वाले की भी. तो फिर इंडियन वेरिएंट बन गया. So basically speaking, the more and more it infects, the more and more people are infected with it, the more and more it spreads, it will have more and more mutation, and that basically the principle is. So it all comes down to curtailing the virus, and that is the only way you can prevent yourself from the variant. Because as we've seen, like the first COVID variant, the first COVID tha, people with comorbidities, ki heart disease hai, ya lung disease hai, ya diabetes hai, they are more at risk. So second wave, say the Delta variant came, it just like broke the entire, the entire foundation of it. Ki now there were young people getting infected. I know people who are young, who kuch nahi hua zindagi mein aaj tak, and they were like all fine, exercising, all good, and they had like a very, very bad COVID illness. I know people who were old and did not have anything. It was very variable. The whole antibody response was variable. There are people who had 0 antibodies after being infected, other people who had 100 antibodies after being infected. So everything was very variable. So there were infections were variable. Like now we hear young people getting heart attacks, young people getting hair loss, and young people soon getting all of that. But the virus has done that. So, and you don't even know what is the next variant that will come. I mean, Delta Plus aaya, then somebody said Omega aaya, then Kappa aaya. So we don't even know uski clinical features kya honge. And new symptoms will come out, and let's say isme bhi aa gaya tha, it started affecting the stomach. You had diarrhea and everything. You had conjunctivitis, so rashes on your body. You will have more symptoms now, more different kind of features, and it can get and from. So like the learning is that if Delta variant has been dangerous, so these will be more and more dangerous only. That is what can be expected. Definitely. It's like that. It's like any kind of like a horror movie or like any kind of like a Avenger movie, shit like that. कि एक छोटा villain आया अभी बड़े और villain आते रहेंगे. That is what is going to happen because they don't just let the cycle, they don't let the main guy come in the first half, right? The main guy will come in the end. So I don't even know what will come. So it will be like that, sadly, unfortunately.
So guys, we really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, feel free to share this video and subscribe to our channel, and once again like the video. And on that note, we would like to end this video, so stay tuned and take care.